What's up, everyone? Freaking music, right? What's up, guys? Michael, Sanji, Jay, Prater, Gonzalo, Smiling Dog. What's up, everybody? I have a versus episode here. Right here! My PS3 controller barely works anymore. The D-pad is kind of like, doesn't really work. Worried about it. I might open it. We were talking about this in the previous stream, how the PS3 got one of the trickiest, most annoying hardware in the history of PlayStation consoles. My god. You know, PS1, PS2 were a couple of freaking warriors, man. Warriors. Fuck is this? What is this? It's not showing up. I think this is from Gadget Twins. Succession main title theme. Nicholas Britell. What the? Wait, freaking great, wherever the fuck it is. I think it's from Gadget Twins. But I could be wrong though. I have no clue. Anybody? Does anybody recognize this song? What the? I think this is from Gadget Twins. Let me look it up. Why is that appearing with this name? Yeah, this is Gadget Twins. Love it, Gadget Twins. Genesis game. Cute 'em up. It's a cute 'em up. It's not great, nor is it bad. It just exists. But it exists with a great soundtrack. So anyway, I was saying that the PlayStation 1 and 2 consoles were warriors. The controllers took a long time to break or to stop working properly. But the PS3 controller stopped working this year, and I had this controller for like 9 years, and I played a crap ton of games. I played the crap out of my PlayStation 3, so maybe that's why. So yeah, it's an original, it's not a replica or anything. It's just the D-pad, you know, it doesn't really work that much. Yeah. You're welcome, Blood Run. You're welcome. That was a bitch to do that video. But I really enjoyed it. Let's see how it does. And if it does well, I'll do one for action JRPGs and even for strategy JRPGs. I did not play Vengeance. Hey, Denise. What a username? Go! What's your username on the internet? Go! You should. Somebody should make a username that says "Let's begin." Let's begin. I'd like to see someone with that username. Let's begin. Oh yeah, I did play the East 10. I did play the East 10 demo. I just finished it yesterday morning. Have some things to say about it, but I know for a fact a crap ton of people are gonna be asking about it, so I'm gonna wait for a little bit more to answer that. I want to talk about it. I need to talk about the East 10 motherfucking demo, which is like 5 hours long. 6. Oh, wow, another Gadget Twin song. It isn't shuffling? Yeah, it should be shuffling. Well, great soundtrack, right? This is stage 1. Hey, Baja. That's the significance of how durable PS controllers are. Well, it worked fine for 9 years, man, and I bought it used. So I imagine the previous owner also played with the PlayStation 3 a lot, so... Yeah, it was durable, you know. But it's not like it's dead or anything, the controller, it's just the D-pad. I may have to fix it. Shouldn't we say the only in Japan JRPG nerd? The main shit point of PS controllers is the battery life. It's such garbage battery life. Really? I don't know, man. I disagree with that. Maybe my controllers are better than yours, maybe. But I think the life of the PlayStation controllers 3 and 4 lasts a lot. PS5 though, I mean, okay, I may not strongly disagree with you when it comes to the PS5 controller, but PS3 and PS4 controllers are like I don't know, man. For example, I've been using the PS4 controller for many years, since 2019. You know, I even use it for the PS Vita. I was using it this morning to play some Game Boy Advance games on the PS Vita, and man, it lasts a lot. PS3 lasts a little bit less though, but it's, I mean, both of them were really, I mean, the battery life will last a lot, but the PS5 controller is, I don't know, man, just probably 4 or 5 hours, and that's it. You gotta charge it, especially if you're playing an action game. If you play, I mean, the less you use it, if you play a strategy RPG, for example, especially one of those that are menu based, where all you gotta do is click the D-pad and then select actions, and that's it, you know. It lasts a lot longer than that. But if you play an action RPG, especially the hack and slash or beat 'em up ones, you know, that are really intense, like 80% action, 20% story, one of those, you know, yeah, it lasts for like 4 or 5 hours, and that's it. You gotta recharge it again. It's fucking lame. But we all know the PS5 is like, yeah, it's fucking lame. PS5 has some great things about it, like the retro compatibility. It's a powerhouse in terms of hardware capabilities and graphics. But that's like the only two nice things I can say about the PS5. And the PS4 lasts more. I played a crap ton of action games and action RPGs with the PS4 controller, and it lasts more, at least 7 or 8 hours. Yeah, maybe 10 if I'm lucky, you know. Definitely the PS4 controller was, well, it's become my favorite controller of all time. Okay, and I think it's the best controller ever made, up there with the Super Nintendo controller, the GameCube one, Xbox 360. That was a great controller, but it required batteries. I mean, it feels great on your hands, right? The 360 controller, right? It's fucking great, man, but it required fucking batteries. And yes, I know there was a cable one, you know, but it's same. You had to buy the controller with the rechargeable battery, you know, to make it work. So I like to think that, well, I prefer the Xbox One controller. I think it's better. I think the Xbox One controller is the best Xbox controller, and then the PS4. So that generation, in terms of controls, was fucking badass. The Switch controller, not the dog bone, the one that looks like an actual controller. You know, I forget its name. Great fucking controller, and those 3 controllers are like from that generation. So I think that's my favorite generation of console controllers. The 3 best fucking controllers of all time, in my opinion. Are you upgrading to the PS5 Pro? No. Probably never. Dude, I never upgraded to the PS4 Pro. I still have the vanilla PS4 console Jason sent me a long time ago. Jason, I don't think he's a fan of this channel anymore. I don't know why. But I still have that console, you know, that system, and it's there. That's the one I use. So no, I won't be upgrading probably never to the PS5 Pro. Maybe in like 40 years when it costs like $100. Probably never. Oh yeah, the N6 controller. Ooh boy! How could I forget about the best fucking controller in video game history? Now, if I was to do a top 10... If I was to do a top 5 worst video game controllers, I still wouldn't put the Nintendo 64 one, but top 10 it probably will be there. I think the 5 worst are, man, the Atari Jaguar controller. If it didn't have fucking keyboard attached to it, you know, if it was just a regular controller, I know it would be great. The Intellivision controller is a calculator, that's right. I mean, it's terrible, man, fucking terrible. I never got into the Intellivision because of shit like that, because of fucking controller, man. I don't know, I need to see a list of bad controllers. I mean, the Nintendo 64 controller is bad, but it's not that bad, you know. Same with the Dreamcast controller, I think it's kind of bad. But I don't know, maybe if this was a list of the 5 best, the 5 worst controllers, but for like popular consoles, you know, stick to the big 4, right? Sega, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. If it was just that, then yeah, the Nintendo 64 and Dreamcast controllers will be there, I think. Original Xbox controller. I remember there was one that was like kind of huge and it was bad. And then they got another one that was great. Original Xbox. They nailed it with the second controller. But the first original controller and the original Xbox, well, the Dreamcast controller is still worse. But it's kind of bad, you know. How bad is the Dreamcast controller? It's just bulky, you know. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it, you know. It's just kind of bulky. Look it up online, man. Google it, and it's just this fucking thing that's like it's not terrible, you know. It's still playable. You can get used to it, but it's bad. It's bad. It was bad design. And then, you know what? Instead of having the cable here, plug into your TV in this part, you know, it was fucking here. Like, imagine you were playing with the cable right here, and they knew that. They put some kind of thing here with a space in there so you can put the controller in there so it wouldn't bother you. Like, they knew that. Why did they bother doing that? Why not just put the cable here? That's my rant on the Dreamcast controller. And I know the Nintendo 64 controller had like it had like 3 handles, right? So you could just like play like in diagonal position, you know, like that, and it's a little bit more comfortable. But your fists are constantly clashing, you know, and it's still uncomfortable. So I've seen a lot of people defending the 64 controller. You know, all you gotta do is play like that, and it's awesome. No, it's not awesome. It's bad. It's fucking bad. What the fuck was Nintendo thinking? And then the Wii controller. I wouldn't say it's one of the worst, but that little TV, that little controller that looks like the TV controller, like a regular TV controller, you know, and with the nunchuck in a wire, it was like, I always felt kind of stupid, you know, playing like this, you know, like, give me this. This is what gamers want. This, not dog bones. Or Wii U, or a fucking tablet as a controller, you know, I don't know, Nintendo. It's like they got this kind of okay-ish uncomfortable controller on NES, and okay, fine. And then the Super Nintendo was like, wow, yeah, bravo Nintendo, you nailed it, great. And then the Nintendo 64 is like, what the fuck, who made this, man? I hope the person who made that controller was fired. And then they were like, oh, okay, we fucked it up, let's not experiment anymore. Let's develop a great controller again. GameCube. There we go. They fucking nailed it. Amazing. So Nintendo redeemed itself for the second time. And then the Wii. Sure, they later developed a classic Wii controller, which is great. It's not that great, but it's great, you know. But that should have been the standard controller, not the motion whatever, you know. Like, dude, fucked it up again, man. And then the Wii U is like this fucking huge thing with a screen. It's like, and then the Switch with the dog bone was like, what's wrong with you, Nintendo? What's what's wrong with Nintendo, man? It beats it. I don't. Yes, Gage. Well, there's 70-something people watching. So, I finished the East 10 demo this morning. No, yesterday morning. Well, maybe by the time you watch this clip on my second channel, it's gonna be like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. The point is that I finished the demo. It's about 5-6 hours-ish long, so it's fairly long for a demo. Just as long as the Daybreak demo. Well, in Trails Through Daybreak, I remember the demo was, you can make it about 10 hours long if you played on the hardest difficulty and grinded a lot and did everything and talked to everyone and everything. Even 12 hours, man. A 12-hour long demo, that's insane, right? So East 10 is kind of the same. I don't think you can put like 12 hours though, you know? But let's say you play in the hardest difficulty, you grind a lot and you fight and you explore every single corner and every single inch available to you. It could probably be about 10 hours long. So, well, when I watched the trailers of East 10 a long time ago, when it was announced, you know, we've discussed this before, but let's just do a full breakthrough. Like some kind of, my English is all over the place today. You know what I mean. Reminisce. Just a quick overview. So when I watched the trailer, one of the first things that I noticed was that the game was going to have only 2 playable characters. And that kind of annoyed me, you know. The E-series was only like adult. Always every single game was just that one guy, you know, that redhead, you know, and then even Origin was like that. So every single East game from like before East 7 and below, you know, was just adult Christie, you know, like the one character, right? So that's great. We got used to that. But then they introduced party members. 5, 6, 7, 8 party members, you know. So that was great. East 7 did the same. They remade East 4, a game with like several party members. East 8 was the same. 9 was the same, you know. So it was great. But now they released this, you know. They announced this game about, what was like 2 years ago? How long has it been out in Japan? Like 2 years ago? Did it come out in 2022 in Japan? Well, long before that, you know, we watched the trailers and we were like, you know, oh, wow. So in these, you're only going to play as Karja and Adol. Fine. So 2 characters. So I don't need... I played the demo of East 10, but I didn't need to play it to know that that's like a step down in my opinion. I don't know why. Okay, so it was released last year. Thanks. So we only got it a year later. So, yeah, one of the first things that I noticed long before playing the demo, you know, like years before playing the demo, was that was a disappointment that there are only 2 playable characters. I was like, wow, this is a step down for me. It's probably not going to be a problem for many of you, but it was a problem for me. It was like, oh, I'm playing, imagine Tales, man. Imagine a Tales game or a Star Ocean game, you know, with just 2 party members, the entire game. You see what I mean? It's like, I don't know. You know, I don't hate that decision, but I don't like it. So now that I play the actual demo, you'd be surprised to know that it didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. Like, I played it and I was like, okay, you know, I thought I was gonna hate it because only 2 playable characters, but nope. But I did have troubles fighting with the Karja. She's an axe user and she's a bit slower than Adol, and she feels a bit heavier than Adol, so I'll be completely honest, it's not that fun to play as her, you know, well, whereas in previous Ys games, it was always fun to play as most of the characters. But here, you know, maybe it's a matter of getting used to Karja. That's the blondie girl, the blondie Viking girl, though they call themselves the Normans here, the Norman. It's like calling yourself the Joes. the Normans, okay. Normans because of North, or I don't know. Anyway, so Adol feels fine. Adol feels fine. Adol feels like the Adol from Lacrimosa of Dana. In Ys 9, he and most of the other characters felt a little bit more faster, a little bit more chaotic, and I liked it a bit more because of that. So, but in this one, he feels great, you know. It feels responsive, the combat is awesome. You can still dodge. I had to, once again, I do this in every Ys game, you know, I had to rearrange the controllers because you dodge with the L button and you jump with this and it's, you know what I did, you know? So let's pretend this is the PS5 controller. So this is my jumping button, this is my attack button. Square is attack, X is jump, and circle is like to dodge, you know? And you got a triangle button to switch between Adol and Karja. So I had to change the controller layout. And then it's got this I already forgot the name. The magical chain, you know, that you move from one location to another. Okay, so here's my mixed feelings about that. First and foremost, this is just the demo, so maybe a double jump will be available later on. But I feel like this little mechanic, this chain mechanic, was to replace the double jump. And I was like, no. Double jump has always been a feature in the large majority of the Ys games. And you're telling me you replace that, the double jump, for this fucking thing? And okay, I'm not gonna be too harsh on that thing, you know? What's the name of the thing, anybody? The chain thing, you know? And I'm not going to be too harsh on it because it works fine, you know, the majority of the time. There's been, during my playthrough of the demo, there were some occasions where I was like, oh, come on, why is it not working? Or, you know, but it works like great most of the time. So I'm not going to bitch about it, but I don't think it was a good idea to replace the double jump with that chain, you know. And if I ever review this game, I'll bitch about that too. I'll bring that up. The grappling hook, no, it's not called that, you know, but it's something like that. So anyway, one thing that I liked is that if you hold the second right trigger, you know, Karja and Adol like stand side by side, and you control them at the same time. And if you stop moving at the right time and a boss or someone, an enemy makes a powerful attack, you know, the characters like they block it automatically. And then you have your combos, your special attacks, you know. I don't know. I thought that was fucking awesome. Awesome. And I know, you know, it shows that they made it on purpose, you know, for that. So that was great. What else can I say about the combat and exploration? The exploration, we'll talk about the sea exploration a bit. I'm talking about the human exploration, you know. It's great, you know, the layout of the dungeons, the areas. It's classic Ys, you know. You can tell it's the same. It's more of the same. A lot of people were comparing this game to Lacrimosa of Dana because it takes place in islands and stuff like that, but it's very different actually. Like many of you, when I played it, I was like, this is gonna be a fucking Lacrimosa of Dana ripoff, like it's the same fucking game again. But no, you know, it feels very different. Sure, you know, you still get the ocean and the island feeling and stuff like that, you know, but not really. And I will tell you this about the graphics, they look great, but some of the character models in 3D, and even the 2D art style, when the character portraits in the menus, it makes me a bit uncomfortable. Like, I'm not sure I like it. I liked it way more in 8 and 9, or 7 even. So, about the 3D models, when you're fighting in the overworld and stuff like that, and a lot of the cutscenes look great, like Karja's fucking beautiful. I have it with the original outfit. The disguise outfit she gets, it's fine, which is the default outfit that you probably saw in the trailers. I like that, you know, I liked her outfit, but I like her original outfit without the mask, with the braids. I don't know, I love her, man. She's gorgeous. She's a bit of a tsundere, and I've always been a fan of most tsundere characters. What is a tsundere, you ask? The kind of girl that hides her emotions, and it's kind of like always serious and getting angry and stuff like, and making angry and serious remarks and stuff like that. That's a tsundere. But in the inside, she's a softie. Typical. It's a big cliche. So yeah, in terms of graphics, I think it's fine. It didn't impress me. That's what I'm trying to say. Just like 9. I remember when people said that 9 was a bit of a step backwards in graphics. I never felt that way, but it was just, I mean, it's 8 is fucking gorgeous. It's an overly beautiful game. So how do you move up from that, you know? So Is 9 was supposed to be dark, so okay, I get it. But 10 is like, it's pretty, I like the graphics, but they didn't impress me. And the 2D art style looks, I don't know, man, Adult looks fucking gay. Look at the menus and oh my god, I don't know, dude, I don't know what the fuck happened with the 2D art style, I do not like it. So, the music's fantastic, you know, I thought the music was gonna disappoint because Takahiro Unisuga, which was my favorite of the Falcom sound team, he's gone, he didn't participate in this game. I think Mitsuo Singa is still there and I think it shows, but I'll be honest, some of the songs are kind of like forgettable, but there were a couple of battle themes that were like fucking badass, and I was like, oh my god, I'm downloading that and using the fuck out of it in future videos. Great. Who left? I'm still here. Are you talking about someone else? Can you guys hear me? Come on, stop. Don't clarify your comments, Kevin, the composer. Oh, yeah, he left. Man, dude, you scared me. I was like, I left. No, I didn't leave. I'm here. Anyway, so, what? So what was I saying? Yeah, so the music is still great, you know, it didn't disappoint. But I don't know. I think it's too soon to, like, to judge the music, okay? It's too soon. I only got to hear so many themes. I will need to, like, beat the whole game one day, you know, and get into that, but yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about the navigation at sea. I'm not sure about it. I feel like I'm playing Suikoden 4. With a big difference that we got no random encounters, thankfully. There are encounters in there, but the game tells you, you know. It's not like they come to you, they close in on you and you have to fight. No, they're still there and they're kind of optional. So that was brilliant. I was very worried when I saw the trailers. I was like, oh, don't tell me there's gonna be random battles at sea. Like, nobody learned from the big fucking mistakes Suikoden 4 made. You know, oh, thank goodness, you know. So I played this game and I was like, oh, thank goodness, you know. Random encounters are optional during at sea, but the ship moves so slow, even during battle. And the controls during battle, it's okay, you know, but I feel like, dude, it's a Ys game. Was this really necessary? I guess they were going for something original, like add something more than just your average hack and slash, typical Ys hack and slash combat, you know, they wanted to do something extra, and I appreciate that, but they could have thought of something else. You know, it was kind of like, the ship battles are kind of like, I don't hate them, but I don't love them. Let's leave it at that. You know, I have mixed feelings. I'm like, was this necessary? Like, I don't understand the point of this. These ship battles are like this is basically Ys 10 Pirate Simulator. Feels like that. They were influenced by pirates and Vikings and stuff like that. Whoever wrote the script this time, it was like, okay, yeah, it shows. But were the ship battles necessary? So yeah, but they're okay, I guess, but I don't know, I would have preferred the game didn't have them, you know. But I don't hate them, you know, they're fine. What else? Well, the story and the translation. The translation is very lazy. It's fine most of the time, but I did get into a scene. I don't know if this happened to some of you. I played the demo on the PlayStation 5. Okay, so let me know if this happened to you too, and I recorded footage of that, but I was in the middle of a scene with this huge bad guy, and all of a sudden, you know, there's a lot of decision making in this game, but most of your decisions don't matter. You can choose whatever, and nothing seems to matter. You know, maybe they will matter with your character relationships because there's a bonding system with the other characters and NPCs and blah blah blah. You know, but most of the decisions they seem to be irrelevant, like in most East games. You know, but I don't know. I made like a whatever decision of East 10, and all of a sudden, guess what happened, people? The English subtitles vanished, and I had to watch the rest of the scene in Japanese. PS5 demo. That happened to me. I don't know if it's happened to you guys. Can you guys tell me if that happened to you? I recorded that. I captured that. Right? But I was just playing, you know. Vanished. It just disappeared. It stopped being in English. The English subtitles, like a bug. Yeah, they were gone. And it was in Japanese. The text was in Japanese. I'm playing in Japanese, by the way. I'm guessing, you know, the developers thought that everybody will play with the English dub, which is fucking... Well, the main characters are voiced by the usual guys, you know, famous actors that have been there since forever. But the rest of the cast is fucking inclusive, and I don't give a shit about it. So I've been playing... I play the East demo in Japanese. So imagine I had to watch the rest of the scene in Japanese, with the Japanese dub, with Japanese subs. No, this didn't happen to any of you? How many of people play the demo? I feel like how many of you played the demo, man? I feel like no one gave a shit about it. No one gave a fuck. Oh my god. Nobody played the fucking demo. Everybody's still fucking obsessed with that metaphor bullshit. Oh wow. Well, since no one played it, like what's the point? The last thing that I want to say is that during this demo, I didn't notice it. I only noticed one political message in there. There was this NPC who says something about the world being full of injustices, and I'm pretty sure that's all he said in Japanese. But of course, woke Nice America added injustices and inequality. There's a lot of injustice and inequality in the world, and I'm pretty sure the script didn't have that, because there's no inequality in the East universe. So whoever was a translator, it just proves to me that's just going to be the tip of the iceberg. I know for a fact this game is going to have politics inserted in it. Like inequality in East? Have you imbeciles played any East games? They all have different races and they all like fight the Roman Empire. But there's races all over the world and they're okay. No one seems to have a problem with any fucking race in the world of East. No one. Oh, and there's a lot of injustice and inequality. Fuck you, asshole. Anyway, you know, I know for a fact. So in conclusion, so am I gonna buy this game? No, but fortunately a fan is gonna send it to me, and he pre-ordered the game before we knew Nice America was garbage and was woke and was altering translations, and this was before altering the Trails Through Daybreak translation. So yeah, so but if it wasn't for this guy sending this game to me, you know, I wouldn't buy this game, because I know for a fact it's gonna have fucking politics in the translation, unfortunately, and I don't want to support that, so there we go. Those are my thoughts on East 10. Let's go back to your questions, because apparently no one fucking cares about the East series anymore. I'm a bit disappointed, you know, I was like, oh my god, the East 10 demo came out, everybody's gonna be asking me about that, but no, apparently no one gives a shit. But anyway, you're not missing much. Play the demo if you want to, but the best I can recommend to you based on my experience with this demo is just wait it out. You know, wait for the price to drop. If it drops, because Nice America games, most of them don't really drop that much. Like, come on, man. Trails into Reverie, it's been a fucking year, and it's still like $100 or $80, you know, it's crazy. At least here in Mexico, no? I'm pretty sure in the US or Canada it's gotta be like 50 or 60, right? But it hasn't gone down in price. You know, same with other, you know, Nayuta, still like 50, 60, $70, you know, so not sure how much you're gonna have to wait, but just keep waiting, you know. I don't think the demo, what I'm trying to say is that I like the demo, but it did not impress me. The end. We need a 7th Saga remake. Trails to Asher is still $40. There we go. But it's not that all, you know, the remaster of that game came out about a year and a half ago, so it makes sense that it's still not that cheap, but I mean $40. Whereas Star Ocean, the second story arcs, it hasn't even been a year and I've already seen it for like 30. Sorry. Sorry guys, Jesus Christ. I don't think people care about the Shining series anymore, and I'll tell you why. Well, it's pretty obvious. I don't think people care about the Shining series anymore because we haven't seen a game in years. The last thing we got was, what, a mobile game that no one gave a fuck about? And before that, Shining Resonance Refrain, the remaster, which was like 10 years ago. Like, I don't wanna be that guy, but I think the Shining series is finally officially dead. Hopefully not. But, I mean, what's gonna happen if it comes back? It's just gonna be full of politics, man. Or we're gonna get like, I don't know, shitty remasters and Sega's gonna milk those remasters. My Shining Force 1 and 2 remasters, and that's gonna get a lot of people excited. And they're like, dude, all of these Shining Force games, you know, they have been with there with upscale graphics in every Sega Genesis collection, so what's the point? But love it how a lot of companies are like, oh yeah, wokeness, left ideals, liberal communism, and they are the worst fucking capitalists, corrupted capitalists in history, man. They proven again. Sony is the perfect example. They don't give a shit about politics. They just want your fucking money. And if to get your money, they need to get on board with the woke train and the mafia train, yeah, they'll do it. They'll do it. You know, oh yeah, communism, equality, but give me all your fucking money. $1,000 for the PlayStation 5 Pro. So imagine Sega's gonna be, if Shining Force ever comes back, Sega's gonna do the same. Like, oh yes, Shining Force 1, 2. Unless, you know what? Unless they remake them in like some kind of HD 2D style. Okay, now we're talking. 10 people left. Seventh Saga as the reboot? Ah, the robot. Fuck, I read wrong. All this time about remakes and remasters. Konami's gonna fuck it up. Guaranteed. Yeah, we're done, Evan, but these things are sponsored and enforced by the US government. Okay, otherwise companies wouldn't do it. Like, imagine I'm a company, I'm Capcom, and I'm like, okay, you know, I don't believe in this bullshit, so I'm not gonna do it, because I know for a fact I'm gonna lose money. But here comes the US government to tell me, hey, you gotta do it, or else what? I'll destroy your fucking company. Or I'll ban your company from your games from being localized in the West. Fuck. Anything I can do to avoid that? No. You know, insert politics or you're done. I'm the US government, motherfucker. You're done. Do it. Okay, here's my transsexual fighter, my non-binary character, and a bunch of characters from different races. That great? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, but my game is failing and I'm losing a lot of money, says Disney. You know, I don't give a shit. I'm telling you to insert politics. I don't give a fuck if you lose money. This is what you're gonna do or you're going to jail. Fine. Rest in peace, Ubisoft. The government killed you. And no one's sad. It's not a conspiracy, it's been proven before. How many examples we've seen, you know, Black Myth Wukong, the developer, I mean, Sweet Baby was gonna bribe them with $7.5 million! And they said no. But 7.5 million, where the fuck did they get all that money? Who's funding them? BlackRock? And why isn't the US government doing something about BlackRock or Vanguard, you know? Because they're behind them. What are you talking about? There is one in Street Fighter 6. Well, everybody's gotta think different. I'm 110% convinced, you know, it's the US government doing all this shit. Why aren't they doing anything to stop it then? Why? Just answer me that. For all of you who don't believe in this, if you think it's something else and not the US government, why isn't the US government doing something about it? Why? Because it keeps people divided and segregated and angry at each other, right? I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, okay, so no transsexual characters in Street Fighter 6. There's a non-binary guy, but not a transsexual. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, you know. Yeah, I didn't know that. Same fucking thing, asshole! The fuck's up with that comment, man? As usual, I'm getting angry about this fucking shit, man. Let's just talk about something else. Your opinion usually gets you in trouble. Nowadays, I'm like, what more trouble can I get into already? They have gotten to the point where the internet doesn't even care about me anymore, thankfully. There's like, you know, this guy. I'm pretty sure that's how people look at me. Before it was like, I can't believe Erick is saying that. Oh my god. Oh my god. But nowadays, oh yeah, Erick is ranting about politics. Oh, the usual Erick. That's just the usual. They don't give a shit anymore, thankfully. Love this song. What are your thoughts that console games are now coming to PC sooner and more frequently? Is this era now a no exclusive era? Well, to answer your second question first, I think the era of exclusivity died a long time ago. It isn't something just recent. It died a long time ago. You know, companies, Microsoft, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, they barely have any exclusives left. You know, Nintendo only the first party games like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Xenoblade, you know, Fire Emblem. Nintendo seems to be the only one because they have so many exclusive IPs to them, you know. But the rest of the companies, like, I mean, Sony's got what? Astrobot, God of War, like what else? And isn't God of War already on PC? I think this is a business perspective, in my opinion. I think companies have realized that there's a crap ton of, and I mean a crap ton of Steam players out there, and they play on PC, and boom, it started booming a long time ago, right? So these companies know that, and they're like, yeah, so if I'm going to make my game exclusive, you know, I'm gonna make a lot of money, maybe, right? But if I release it also on PC, I'm gonna make even more money, you know? So, yeah, I think the era of exclusivity is kind of dead. It's just very few games of each company, and that's it. And I think that's the reason why more and more games are coming more frequently nowadays to PC. Because they know that. Because they have acknowledged, finally, after so many years, the power of computers and the power of Steam and Valve and Gabe. And they want to invest in that. They want their games in that, you know. okay, I'm not gonna have my game on Nintendo Switch or Xbox, but at least, I'm gonna make more money if I release my game on PC. And sometimes, PC sales are way higher than the console sales, right? So companies have noticed that. It just took them a little bit longer than usual or than normal, to realize that. So I think that's the reason why a lot of games are now being released on PC, because it just, from a business point of view, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you? If I was Sony, I will do the same. I will release everything on PC, at least. Maybe not on Xbox for whatever reason, or Nintendo, I don't know, but I will at least release every goddamn game on Steam. And that will make me more money. So, there we go. Twilight Dragon, thanks a bunch. After completing both Dead and Request, you were right about the second one being better. Damn, the story was so good. But what do you think about Rotten? Such a rotten character. Roddy. Did she grow on you? Because at the beginning she was like, get the fuck out of here, you stupid lesbian wannabe, But at the end you're like, you care about her. And without spoiling the ending of Dead and Request 2, like, I'm glad... Well, I got the true ending, by the way. Like, I'm glad that ending happened, I don't know, man. She fucking grew on me. I can't bring myself to hate Roddy. Anyway, apart from that, yeah, great story, fucked up. It certainly gives you goosebumps in certain parts. Oh, man. Yeah, glad you liked them. Great games. I remember you explained how to build the world in the Revenant Army, but I don't remember which video. Well, it's probably there in some of my clips on my second channel. Just real quick. How I do my world building in my books is I go along. Like, I create a setting, okay, it's gonna be medieval, it's gonna have magic, and it's gonna have this and that, just the basics, Before I start writing, I create all of the basics, and that's it. That's all I need, the basics. And everything else is as I go along. I start writing, and I'm an improviser when it comes to world building and lore. I'm an improviser, and as I keep writing the story and the characters, it's thanks to their interactions and what's going on, what's gonna happen, and the plot twists and whatnot, that makes me think, oh, this happened because of this part of the world building, or this world, or this continent did this, or this country, or this kingdom, or whatever, It all comes along, so in the end, that's how I make my world building in my books. Do you plan to stream fighting games in the future? I've done it before already on my Twitch channel. There's a link to my Twitch channel in the description of this stream, everybody. I'm streaming all types of different genres in there. And I streamed a bunch of Super Nintendo fighting games some weeks ago. The video is there on my second channel here on YouTube. I got one on the PSP, which I'll upload probably next week. But it's there on Twitch, so I stream games of different genres all the time on Twitch. Link to Twitch, my Twitch channel in the description. Erick, I also hate true endings, and I made an entire rant video on my YouTube channel. Check it out. Team Xbox. Actually, yeah. More and more people are realizing that Xbox Series X, has a crap ton of JRPGs. Not a single exclusive though, but most of them are games that are also on PS4, 5, but yeah. Crap ton of JRPGs. Believe it or not. Especially since some people are mentioning the Game Pass. It's because, the Game Pass allows you to play some Xbox One, I think Xbox 360 games as well. So you can play all of some of the RPGs from... Anyway, the people with Game Pass can answer this question, because, to be completely honest, I don't have an Xbox. And I certainly don't have Game Pass. So... I don't know if the Game Pass can play every single Xbox 360 JRPG. please let us know. I don't know. Probably, right? Exactly, Terry. I couldn't agree more. That's what they do. Lots of 360 JRPGs on Game Pass, or every single one of them? That's what I'd like to know. I mean, are they all of them in there? Can you play Operation Darkness, for example, on the Game Pass? That's what I want to know, you know. Yeah. Or it's just... Oh, not every... Okay, so just some of them. Okay, so Xbox has been adding them. Alright. I'm pretty sure Lost Odyssey is there, right? There are some. So not every single one of them, guys. What about Xbox One? I'm pretty sure there's every single Xbox One JRPG available on Game Pass, right? I think Microsoft did the same as Sony with the PlayStation and the retro compatibility. Like everything PS4 is on PS5. Except some demos. Some demos of all games from all PS4 games are not available on PS5. But the games can be played there. Magna Carta backwards compatibility for... Oh, no Magna Carta. Okay, so Magna Carta 2 can... Alright. All 5 RPGs on Xbox. The original Xbox, I don't know how many JRPGs it got, or how many RPGs. There's a lot of Western, but there's only like one JRPG. And a Taiwanese RPG. And some other Western RPGs like Dark Alliance or Elder Scrolls, shit like that, you know. But JRPGs on the original Xbox, there's only like Metal Dungeon, I think. Is it called Metal Dungeon? I don't even know. It's a boring as fuck game, man. There's Blackstone, Magic of Steel, but that's more like a Baldur's Gate type of RPG, action-ish, more action-oriented. And it's not Japanese, it's by a Taiwanese studio, I believe. Okay, in Game Pass, it's like Netflix. Some games come and go. Wow, that's bullshit. So like every streaming service nowadays, it's got its ups and downs, you know. I don't think I'll ever get an Xbox, you know. I don't really care about it, but maybe one day if I'll get my hands on it, we'll see, right? Have you watched Frieren Beyond Journeys End? No, I don't know what that is. Even if you have an old weak PC, you can pretty much run anything optimized for PS5. Okay. They got the entire Yakuza series. Xbox? Cool. So does PlayStation. Game Pass is a waste of money. Who has the time to play all of those games to make it worth it? No one. All of those services are a waste of time, you know. I remember when I looked into the PlayStation Plus and there was a crap ton of games you could play, and I was like, dude, I'm never gonna have the time, you know. If I'm gonna play a crap ton of games, I'd rather do it for free with old games, retro games, or you know, games that I own in my collection that I paid money for. So I'm not gonna pay some extra. I mean, no offense to anybody who pays PlayStation Plus or Game Pass or whatever, you know, but at least they're doing it because they are allowed to play certain games and they are playing them, right? So I don't think it's 100% a waste of money, but it could be seen as one. Just companies, all they do nowadays is compete for your attention and to keep you there and to keep you paying. Like I said, you know, they only care about your money, man. They don't. You are meaningless to them. Your wallet, that's what matters to them. Oh, and you can also play online, I guess. So if you play shit like Fortnite or stuff like that, you know, I guess it's worth it. Like Final Fantasy 14, stuff like that. So, do you think Microsoft will stop making Xbox and just focus on the Game Pass software? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I have no idea. Well, there's been some rumors in the past that we saw that rumors that said that this was it for consoles. That the Microsoft was gonna focus on something else, and the Xbox Series X was their final console. I remember when the Xbox Series X came out, people were saying that like this is it, you know, they're not gonna produce any other consoles in the future. This is the last Microsoft console ever. Who knows what'll happen? I don't know what's gonna happen. Sony and Nintendo, I can guarantee you they will continue, you know, with consoles. There's gonna be a PlayStation 7, I'm pretty sure. But Microsoft, I don't know what's gonna happen. In your opinion, what JRPGs do the true endings trope right? Where it's not annoying or frustrating. The ones where, like, it's basically very easy to achieve, right? Like, you got this true ending and all you gotta do is make a decision that seems too obvious, or that lets you do like a separate save file right before that, you know, stuff like that. The ones that piss me off is like, you made some different decisions at the beginning of the game or halfway through the game, or you missed this and that, and all of a sudden you get to the end, you're like, oh, I can't get the true ending, and the only thing I can do to get it is to restart the fucking game. That's what gets me, man. Or the ones that are like, oh, you want the true ending? It's in the post game. Like you know, I don't know, or behind a stupidly hardcore boss or something, or post game like Dragon Quest XI, Shin Megami Tensei 5 can kiss my fucking ass, man. Those games could have been much better, you know, if the true ending was like easier to achieve. I don't mind, you know me, you know, I like games with multiple routes and endings, you know, Devil Survivor, stuff like that. I'm into that shit. But when you like, the best ending, you know, is like super hard. The Valkyrie Profile, for example, this isn't a new thing, you know. People think this is a new thing. Like a lot of modern JRPGs do this, you know. No, some JRPGs in the past did this, you know. Valkyrie Profile is full of shit. To get the true ending, you need a fucking guide. No fucking way in hell can you get the true ending in Valkyrie Profile completely blind. Oh, impossible, man. No, impossible. And it's bullshit. That shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be like that. I'm against that. But anyway, you know, I played some... I made a rant. Like, there's a rant that I made about this on my YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel. You can just look it up. Thank you, D-Flex Sound. I imagine someone got the Valkyrie Profile ending, like... Well, yeah, maybe somebody did, just by mere chance, you know, like somebody did, and oh, okay, so it happened. And they wrote that in a guide 20 years ago, you know, when the internet was still kind of young. Yeah, they're trolling me, but leave them, you know. It's like I gave up. It's okay, Denise. You need to play on the hardest difficulty plus on a certain route for Valkyrie. What? I don't think so. Valkyrie Profile only has like 3 endings. At least the original PS1 version. I never beat the PSP remastered port, whatever. You know, I beaten the PS1 version, and there's 3 endings as far as I'm concerned. The true ending, and you need a guide for that, but no difficulty settings are required. There's the regular whatever ending. If you don't do anything and go up do a complete blind playthrough, big chances are you're gonna get that ending, you know, the regular whatever ending, which is kind of lame. And then there's the ending where you antagonize Freya during the first several hours of the game, and then she fights you, and it's an impossible boss fight, and you know, it's an unwinnable fight, and then she kills you, and that's the ending. You die, game over. Those are the only 3. And there's no hard mode, right? Easy is the only difficulty you can't get it on. What do you guys... Easy won't get you the true ending? Really? You can't get the true ending on easy? Really? I got the true ending then. I didn't even remember the game had difficulty settings. Isn't there just easy and normal? There's a hard mode? Dude, I haven't played Valkyrie Profile in a long time. Yeah, there's a hard mode? I didn't play on hard, you know, but yeah, I probably played on normal. Yeah, I did get the true ending in that game. Doing everything right for the Suikoden 2 true ending only to mess up at the Nanami scene. Oh yeah, exactly. I'm hoping Konami is gonna fix that bullshit. There was also a glitch, you know, and every time I played that game, I got the glitch, but I got around it But then I did a full playthrough of Suikoden 2 live, and I got to the glitch, and I forgot what to do, and I fucked it up. It fucked up my playthrough, and Nanami died. Fuck it, man. I hope Konami fixes that shit with a remaster. If, you know, Konami, if you're gonna put fucking horrendous politics in your game, and we can't do shit about it to prevent that, at least have the decency to change that fucking glitch. You dislike games with multiple endings. That's okay, to each their own. Is there any SNES JRPG that have a true ending bullshit? Not the ones that I have finished. Not that I'm aware of. Well, how about Chrono Trigger has multiple endings, right? Well, like the regular ending is like easy to achieve. You just go, you beat the game, and that's it. And then, yeah. But in Trigger, most of the endings are kind of like just there. You know? Like there's only like one good ending, or normal regular ending, and that's the true ending, I think. I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. No. Not that I'm aware of, you know, there are... Why? Because now you're gonna say this is some bullshit that started in the PS1 era, right? That's why Super Nintendo era was best. Are you asking me because you want to say that? Why Square Enix won't remake Chrono Trigger? I have no idea, to be honest. You know, it's been a few years where I don't know. Like everybody wants a HD 2D remake. Like who doesn't want that? You know, like Star Ocean 2, Octopath Traveler. You know, with a Chrono Trigger like that. Why? Right? Exactly. I don't know why. It's like they keep pulling it off, you know, like putting it off. Like, oh, delaying it. It's time to imagine the strategy meeting. Oh, okay, people, it's time to remake Chrono Trigger. Now we can do that later. Let's just focus right now on this game and that and this. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll talk about this in 6 months. How about that? Great. 6 months later go by, and the same meeting happens. Hey, how about that Chrono Trigger remake? Oh, share you. What should we do? This, and that, you know? Hey, but you know, I think it's more convenient if we do this first. Oh, sure, and this other, and this, and that. Oh, yeah, let's do that, you know? So what about Chrono Trigger? We'll talk about that in 6 months from now again. I think that's what's been happening in Square Enix. Or maybe they are secretly, very, very secretly working on one. And I don't know. Nobody knows. A top secret project in Japan's Area 51, developed by zombies and aliens, you know. I don't know. No idea. You bet your ass if they ever do something with Chrono Trigger, they're gonna censor the fuck out of it. No, I didn't get... you know, what I did with Chrono Trigger is I beat the game, and, like, that was it. I didn't bother with any other endings, you know. I kind of moved on. When I finished Chrono Trigger, because that Chrono Trigger, I finished it on the PlayStation, okay? Yeah, I know it's not the best version to play. Someone's gonna say that in the chat. Don't. We know that. Okay, right? That's the version that I beat. And I beat the game, and that's it. I had a crap ton of more JRPGs that I wanted to play back then. I was like, should I get the other endings? Nah. You know, it's just, I loved Chrono Trigger, but I didn't love it that much, you know, to make me go through all the endings, you know, again. And then, you know, I got into other JRPGs, and I never went back to the endings. I never got a single different ending from Chrono Trigger, just the one ending, the regular good ending, you know. Chrono Cross, though, that's another story. I've gotten every single fucking ending in existence in that game. You can ask me about the endings in Cross anytime, any day. Well, I don't remember some of them, you know, that happened like 20 years ago. I said this before, I don't want to sound like a broken record, so I'll be extremely quick. I think Square Enix is focusing on Final Fantasy VII Remake, and we won't see any other remakes from then in a while. Unless they're done by a different party, like Star Ocean. I mean studio. Right? I mean, I said this before, but why will they remake Final Fantasy IX before finishing up the Final Fantasy VII remake? It just makes no sense. I don't know, man. Yeah, I didn't finish Covenant of the Plume either. But that's because I got into the one of the hardest routes of the game. I couldn't resist. I looked it up online. I was like, this is a hard route, you know, but it's got the best characters and the best storyline. So I couldn't resist, and I did that, and the game beat the shit out of me. I got all the way to the end, but the final boss was like 4 maps in a row, extremely excruciatingly hard. Now fuck it, I gave up. So one of these days I'll replay Valkyrie Profile Covenant of the Plume with the normal route, which is the Mercenaries route. And we'll see how it goes from there, you know, because the route that I got into, wow, fucking hardcore. I wasn't supposed to do that route, I think. It's one of those, I think it's got a New Game Plus, so the best thing you can do with Covenant of the Plume is to beat the easiest route, and then on New Game Plus, you know, your levels carry maybe, I don't know, something like that, and then you do the rest of the routes. That's what I'm planning on doing one of these days. So I'm gonna have to open my copy of it. I have a sealed copy of Covenant of the Plume. It's cheap, you know, you can find it for like $30, $40 around, you know, but yeah, I'll probably have to open my copy of it. You have one more day to live. Will you play Chrono Cross or Xenogears? You know my answer, man. What kind of question is that? Wasn't there rumors that they will do a Final Fantasy VI remake? I think that 6 and 9 are the ones most people want. So eventually Square Enix is going to have to decide. After they're done with Final Fantasy VII, they're going to have to decide. They're going to have to pick, like, okay, so which one? I'm guessing 9 because there's been a crap ton of pixel remasters and whatever of Final Fantasy VI, and it's honestly fine. Leave that fucking game alone already. Yeah. Is Shining Force emulator on computer worth to play? Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it be? I mean, I guess it depends on the emulator you're using, but yeah. There you go. So that's what I'm gonna do with Valkyrie Profile Covenant of the Plume. So it might improve my opinion of it, but I don't think it's gonna improve it that much. I mean, it's improved over the years. You know, I give it an 8.2 or 8.4 in my blog, which is high, you know. When 5 years ago, I probably would have given the game like a 7.4 or something, you know. Covenant of the Plume isn't cheap in Europe. Oh, man. How much is in Europe? Yeah, some PAL versions, man. I think 2D JRPGs are making a huge comeback next year. You mean like in the form of remakes or in remasters and stuff like that? And what makes you think that? Well, I can see where you're coming from because, you know, we've gotten a lot in the past few years, you know. Tons of remasters and remakes and ports and whatever. What about this year? Exactly. Don't you think they already made a comeback? Like, they're making a comeback next year. No, they already did, right? I mean, how about all those indie RPGs inspired by? We're still getting them, and they're 2D. They already are, exactly, I agree. But they aren't. Are they selling that much, though? Yeah, Parasite Eve 2... I really want to like that game, but it's such a convoluted mess. It's confusing. I didn't mind that it was like more Resident Evil, you know, than RPG this time around. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Plus, I played it before, long before I played the original Parasite Eve. But damn, it's like, man, why? What made them? I don't understand. What? I made a video called "What the hell happened to Parasite Eve" a long time ago, 6 years ago, I think. The explanation is probably already there, you know, but I forgot about it. Like I don't understand why they decided to go that route with Parasite Eve. Like, the RPG survival horror game worked fine. That formula worked wonders. But now the second one had less RPG elements and more Resident Evil. I mean, I don't understand. What? whatever. Do you think we are close to see the end of too many remix remasters era? No, Dunsk. Far from it. What are you playing at the moment? On PS5? Well, I was playing the East 10 demo, which I beat yesterday morning. And that's it. This morning I went back to the Game Boy Advance. I want to finish Summon Night Swordcraft Story 2. Why is it showing like this on my music player? What the fuck? What are these Japanese letters? I changed the fucking name. Well, this is from Frontier Hunter, because I know some of you are gonna ask because it's such a beautiful fucking song. A Lanier. Keiichi Okabe level of beautiful. Frontier Hunter. Oh, I forgot the name of the song though. It's called Mysterious Mask or something. Mysterious something. When will you play Blue Reflection 1? When I find it for a decent price. Thank you, Kevin. A lot of JRPGs are more expensive in Europe, but also the other way around. A lot of JRPGs are cheaper in Europe. Well, the third birthday, Parasite Eve, I don't think it's a bad game, you know, it's just, it doesn't feel like a Parasite Eve 3 is like with Final Fantasy 13 for me. Like, it doesn't feel like a well-known bad example. I don't know which example I can give you, but it's similar, you know, it's like, okay, I like the game, I didn't love it though, I didn't finish it, I was like, yeah, the game's fine. Maybe I should stream it. I'll stream Parasite Eve the 3rd one of these days. And, you know, I don't think it's a bad game. It's just, yeah, it's just very fucking different, right? Thank you, Mystery Kid. Best original PSP JRPG, no ports. That will definitely... Oh, no ports. Strictly no ports. No Trails in the Sky. No Grow Lancer. No Spectral Souls. Fate Extra. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, for the haters of the 3rd birthday, like, I'm not gonna argue with you, I don't think it's a great game. But what's your problem with the game? Which game has been on your mind since I talked about it? No one wants to buy PAL games because it's 50 Hz. Yeah, but sometimes you got no choice. Or sometimes the price difference is like too much. If you have a modded PS2, for example, you can do that, you know. Like I said, this is not an RPG, but I regret not buying Trapped on PS2. When I was in England, it was there for £6, man. And now it sells for like 40. Fuck. And back then, the North American version of Trapped was like 40 US dollars. Right? So I was like £6 and I didn't pick it up like an idiot. Anyway, the song's over. Yeah, that's the battle theme of Dog Hack Geo. Anyways, Kaizo for Arcadia. Oh, okay. Because of the Versus episode? The East game prices go up. Oh, Switch prices always go up or retain the price. Valkyria Chronicles 3 never came out of Japan. Oh, hell no, the 3rd birthday is just no, and I have a lot of criticism to Parasite Eve 2, but man, when I finally played it from last year, like, why? Full-on character assassination of IR Bree because of the Tetsuya Nomura. Oh, okay. Oh, in that area, okay, I admit, you know how I feel about Tetsuya Nomura, let's not get into that. But what about the gameplay mechanics? Not even a good feeling third-person shooter. Why? Like, it's clunky you know, never mind, you know, save it from when I stream the game. I'll stream the game, probably on Twitch, and see how I feel about it. I want to play it again. I played it so long ago. because I covered it in the video. I was like, I'm gonna talk about this game. I need to play it for a little bit, so that's what I did, and I ended up playing the game for like 2 hours. So if the game was terrible, you know, I would have made it past the first hour, right? So yeah, and I think I still have my save file, you know, so I can go on from there. Anyway, so it's just I don't think it's a terrible game. Favorite PS1 classic that's not an RPG? That will definitely be... oh boy. So... I'm gonna go with Crash Bash. I know it's not like super fun for a lot of people, mixed reviews and whatever, but I fucking love it, man. Crash Bash. Crash Team Racing also is up there, but Crash Bash is my jam. There's also Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Fucking love that game. I beat that game like 6 or 7 times, you know, when I was younger. Silent Hill, the original, I got all endings. Well, like, there's one ending that I missed in Silent Hill, and I'm still itchy about it. You know, but if I had to pick, it's just Crash Bash, man. I know the other games that I mentioned are much better games. Silent Hill, Resident Evil 3, you know, but Crash fucking Bash, man. Dirge of Cerberus was an unlikely accident. I didn't like it, but I never really give it I'd like to give that game a second chance one of these days. Dino Crisis, I have Dino Crisis. The one with the Resident Evil 3 demo. Arc Rise Fantasia needs some more love. It does. Shining Force versus Ogre Battle. I think Shining Force is going to destroy it. Ogre Battle is still kind of obscure, and not a lot of people know about it. I think, you know, I don't think Ogre Battle stands a chance, man. But yeah, I think a lot of you are still thinking of a perfect match for Shining Force, right? It's not gonna be today. I have another one that's really good, but yeah. Oh no, perfect. Okay. Panzer Dragoon Saga is my favorite JRPG of all time. Okay. Langrisser, Shining Force is gonna win. Shining Force is Shining Force, man. Everybody knows that. Exactly. It's just Langrisser, Ogre Battle. Those games are still fucking obscure. No one play them. Shining Force, a lot of more people play it. Trails of Cold Steel is a bit of a slow game. I hope I'm pretty sure you'll be patient enough to get through it. It's a great fucking game. It's a bit slow though. 4 is better. But 4 is gonna be epic at the beginning, but then it'll go slow again, and then epic again. Trails in the Sky, Shiryu. Don't start with 0. It's gonna spoil Trails in the Sky. I don't think a lot of people play Shadow Hearts 3. That's a good one though, but you're offending me. Grandia 3 is a much better game. I will defend Grandia 3 till my dying breath. Love it. Trails 4 has some bad voice acting? Really? Not really, Tech. No, that's a lie. Well, if you're talking about the entire series, then yes, it's a lot of fucking hours you'll need to play. But each game, stick to the main story, 40 hours, you're done. Well, maybe not 3 and 4. 50 hours, okay? And that's it. Stick to the main story, and that's it. I like Shadow Hearts 3 too. You would like to see a versus episode with Vandal Hearts? That would be an interesting one. You know, maybe Vandal Hearts could work better against Langrisser or Ogre Battle, because it's just as obscure, like not that obscure, but obscure. But Shining Force is just too popular, or was too popular. But people remember that popularity. It's just... It would be like putting, I don't know, Secret of Mana versus something like Crystar. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, oh sure, Crystar's gonna win. Sure. Vandal Hearts or Jeanne d'Arc. I think Jeanne d'Arc is more popular, but... And I think it's gonna win for some reason, but yeah. Marvel versus Capcom, sure. Those two companies can go to hell. Eric, do you like Kingdom Hearts? No, not really, no. Very worth playing Arcade Heroes. Very worth playing. Those are top tier JRPGs in my opinion. Project, Cross Zone 1 and 2. And Namco Cross Capcom is just as worth as playing. Project games are better though, but Namco Cross Capcom... I suggest you start with that one actually. It's fan translated. If you can emulate PS2 games, start with that one and then move on to Project Cross Zone 1 and 2. Did you play any RPG Maker games? Yes. There's a stream I did on nothing but RPG Maker games last year here on YouTube. Look it up if you want to. Oh, the Xenosaga Remaster comment of every Sunday. Thank you, Tech. Every Sunday there needs to be one comment about the Xenosaga Remaster. Yeah, Tactics Ogre versus Jeanne d'Arc will be fucking great. That's a great match, man. But we already put Tactics Ogre versus something else months ago. Maybe next year. We'll do that. That seems to be the best match for Jeanne d'Arc. Tactics Ogre, you know. Let's see what happens. I mean, Tactics Ogre is held in such a high regard, but everybody knows, you know, he's just a hardcore bastard, man. So we'll see what happens. Do you have experience in Mugen games? I've never played a single Mugen game in my life, but I've seen a lot of videos on them. Oh, I'll do Xenogears versus something. Pretty sure I'll do Xenogears versus something this year. We'll see what happens in there. Roslan Gacha is that guy. That one guy that says that Tactics Ogre is better than Final Fantasy Tactics. I can't comment because Final Fantasy Tactics I played for like 4 hours and that's it, I gave up. And I promised to go back to it, but I can go back any day I want to Final Fantasy Tactics. Any day I want, and I want to. But I'm resisting the urge because I still have faith in Square fucking Enix remastering the game. Like, I know, I have a good feeling it's gonna happen. So I'd rather wait for that version. Like, hopefully they won't alter the localization. Unless it's a remake. If it's a remake, we're fucked. I'm playing the original version. Xenogears versus Mario RPG. We did Mario RPG. I already have a good match. Great fucking match for Xenogears, but we're not doing that today. One does not simply have faith in Square Enix. But as a publisher, forget about the developers. You know, they do cool things every now and then. You know, you're a Tri-Ace fan. You know, Star Ocean Remake was fucking badass last year. Octopath Traveler 2 was badass. So, as a publisher, I still have some faith in there. As a developer, fuck no. As a publisher, okay, yeah. Okay. But if they fuck up Final Fantasy Tactics, I'm done. Or if they ever make a new Nier and they fuck it up, I'm done. That's a bold statement. Oh, you don't know Roslan Gacha here? He's the bold statements guy. There, that's another bold statement. Mario RPGs for kids. Like most Nintendo games. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Psycho, well, most, okay. You can get away with that. Mario RPG vs. Earthbound was the original idea. But since I don't have a strong opinion on Earthbound, I changed that to Secret of Mana. And it was a fight. It was a battle. Mario RPG won for like by 1 fucking point. Watch the video. Is there on my? Is this in this channel? Yeah, we're all that guys. I guess I'm that guy too. Oh, Tad and Chris. Yeah, Mysterious Voice. Yeah. That's the Frontier Hunter song. Yeah, fucking beautiful. I love it. Love the soundtrack. That's a great soundtrack. Legaia versus Wild Arms? Yeah, that could work. We already did Wild Arms versus Grandia a long time ago, and Grandia won. Yeah, Kevin, but Yoko Taro is like, yeah... I don't know. I like his writing style and his fucked up mentality, you know, and his pro fan service, but he's also pro weird characters, if you catch my drift. And back in the day that was cool, but nowadays it's not cool. Valkyrie Elysium. Well, that wasn't Tri-Ace. That game... you know, I played the demo of Valkyrie Elysium, and I'll be honest, I didn't even finish it. I think I beat the first boss, went back to base with Odin. I saved in there, and I was like, fuck this, you know. I don't think it's bad. Valkyrie Elysium isn't a bad game. It's a terrible Valkyrie game, though. But it's an action game. It's not a bad action game or an action RPG game. It's just okay. It has some ups and downs. I covered it. I think I reviewed it in a video called 10 JRPGs that failed my expectations. Or was it another video? I reviewed it somewhere, you know. But my review was based on the demo, which is why it was like a 1 minute long review or something, you know. Like, I don't think it's just meh. It exists. I wish it didn't. Or I wish it did with a different name. Voice of Cards. You do not recommend Voice of Cards? It's not for everybody. It's a turn-based RPG, but everything is done with cards, and the exploration is kind of like weird. I think, you know, I played the first one, Voice of Cards. I think it's a good game. It's a good idea. I liked it, you know, but it's not great, you know. I mean, there are 10 million far more better turn-based RPGs there's 100 better turn-based JRPGs than Voice of Cards. Voice of Cards was not included in my top 100, so that should speak volumes, right? Valkyrie Profile Remaster already happened on the PS4 and 5 digitally. It's not 100% a remaster, but it's got upscale graphics, it looks good, it's there. Yes, Tech. Yes, the answer is yes to that question. It's just meh, the Valkyrie Elysium game, you know. I can forget about the fact that let's just close your eyes to everybody who played Valkyrie Elysium. Just close your eyes, forget it's Valkyrie. Imagine it's just one random game by one random company, you know. It's okay at best. It's still not great. Yeah, the fact that it's Valkyrie by Square Enix, you know, and not Tri-Ace, you know, kind of ruins it. Fuck that game, you know, but it's as an action RPG, it's just meh. I only played the demo of Visions of Mana. Haven't played the full game yet, so I can't make an episode. Baten Kaitos is good, very good. Especially the first one. Very fucking good, man. Threads of Fate versus Toroshian 1. Come on, no one cares about Threads of Fate. Just that one guy. Rosland, maybe. Exactly, Rosland. Marvel Midnight Suns is kind of like Voice of Cards. So there's a Marvel game. Well, you know Marvel and Disney. They are like the modern Square Enix, trying to imitate every single fucking video game in existence with zero originality. That's what they're doing. Don't get me started, don't bait me into defending Star Ocean 6, okay? I'll fight anybody. Anybody! The game is almost a masterpiece. Could have been a masterpiece. had they put more work in the graphics and the balancing issues, you know? That's fucking excellent. Hey, kiddo. Oh, no. Star Ocean 5. No, that's a different conversation. I only know one die-hard fan of that game, it's Terry. Terry here. If he's still here, you know, that guy's a die-hard fan of that game. Favorite Star Ocean, if I'm not mistaken. Star Ocean 5 is a different conversation. I think Star Ocean is good. It's a good game, but it's just full of problems. Okay, but it's still good. Worth playing. I finished it. What's the Versus episode, Brian? We'll give a few more minutes. Besides, yeah, Star Ocean 6 is like $20 nowadays. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, I'm still waiting on a deal for Star Ocean The Second Story R. I have it digital, but I want to own it. And I've seen the PS5 version for like $28. I'm like, if it hasn't been 1 year since the game was released and we're already starting to see those prices, it's gonna drop even more. So I'm waiting. I'm pretty fucking sure Star Ocean The Second Story R, at least on PS4 and 5, eventually is gonna be like $20 or less. So I'm just gonna wait. I don't need it. I have the digital game, the digital copy of it, you know. Sure, I don't 100% own that physical copy, but if it's still installed on my PlayStation, so I own it. As soon as I uninstall it, though, oh boy. Battenkaitos in English. Oh, that voice is bad. They removed the English dub in Battenkaitos, in the remaster. It's just Japanese. Have you done any Versus episode with any game from the Tales series? Signum, yeah, we already did one. That's the first one. The first Versus episode ever was Star Ocean 6 versus Tales of Arise. And today, there's another Tales game. For the second time. Are they releasing the Answer remake soon? What Answer? Isn't the Answer the sequel to Persona 3? And didn't they release that already? Isn't it out? I thought it was out. Are you planning on buying on Black Friday? Yeah, I'll see what I can get my hands on. Tales of Exilia? No, we already did. Oh yeah, we already did one Tales of Exilia. It's been 3 episodes. Well, 2 and today's episode. We got another Tales. It'll be the 3rd time. We put Tales of Exilia 1 and 2 versus Trails in the Sky 1 and 2. Not long ago. That was like a month ago, wasn't it? Yeah. So today's gonna be the 3rd Tales game in a contest. No, I don't have the Answer, Mundus. I have the collector's edition, but I don't have the Answer. I have to pay for it. I don't have the Answer. Ah, that's just your opinion. The Answer didn't ruin 3. The Answer is fantastic. I fucking love it. It's for Aigis fans. Yeah, it's out. But the original The Answer on FES. That's the one I'm defending, not the remake. I haven't played the remake. Just the original remake. It's fucking confusing. Fucking Atlas. Is it Star Ocean 1 versus Tales of Fantasia? No, I feel like Star Ocean is gonna lose against most Tales games. So I kinda gave it up. I was like... any Star Ocean game that I put against... Maybe 2. Star Ocean 2 is the only one that stands a chance, but I need to find its proper match. Well, you should play The Answer. It's just more Persona 3 without the simulation. It's just a dungeon. The tower, you know, with Aigis as the main character. You should play The Answer. The DLC voucher is included in the collector's edition. If you did redeem it, you should have it. I did redeem it, but it's not there, man. I have the PS5 version. Are you sure it's there? It's not there. Dude, don't get me excited, because if that's true, I'm gonna do it right fucking now. When this stream is over, that's the first thing I'll do. Yeah, but my special edition, you know, I got it like 7 months ago. Sealed. And I did open the box, the case, and I got a DLC for the outfits and the music, and that's it. The answer wasn't there. Anyway, I'll look it up. You're the only one saying that, man, so I'm gonna look it up. I don't think I can play the answer for free, just because I have this special edition that came out 7 months ago. I don't think so. Yeah, I know the answer wasn't out there, but... So you're telling me I don't have to pay for it, so what do? I redeemed that voucher a long time ago. Well, have you played it? Do you own the special edition, Mundus? I feel like you're just trolling, man. Do you own the special edition? And have you redeemed it for the answer? And that's my special edition. You've seen it before, the one with the Aegis figure. That's the one that I have. You are wrong. Yeah, exactly. You're just trolling, or you're just misinformed, or I don't know what the fuck you did to make the answer work for free. Just by owning the special edition, man. That's crazy. Exactly, Mystery Kid. That's why I'm so in on the fence. Like, I don't believe this guy. Exactly. You play the DLC on Game Pass. It's included on that. Ah. You were just fucking trolling all this time, asshole. Well, everybody, the voucher should be the same. Yeah, stop, okay? I don't believe you. But if it's, I'll look it up, and if it turns out to be true, I'll apologize to you next Sunday. How about that? Okay? But right now, I think you're misinformed or something. You're just spreading misinformation, man. No, we're about to start Jyotish Blade. Or is it Jyotish? Anyway. Was it Fire Emblem? Oh, it's the main theme of Radiant Dawn. I don't know if it's gonna have copyright. Let's wait until it's over, so the episode doesn't have any copyright bullshit. Okay. I get it now. I think I finally get what Mundus is trying to say. If you own the special edition, you know, and the PS Plus Game Pass or whatever, you know, you can get it for free. I don't have it. I just have the special edition, but I don't have PS Plus or any services whatsoever. Right? I think that's what's going on here. Well, 2 great action RPGs on PS4. We got another Tales game, and that's Tales of Berseria. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I think the best match for this Tales game is not a Star Ocean game, is 9 Monstrum Nox. Any version, this is on Switch, PS5, everywhere. This is only on Steam and PS4. Oh, and PS3, but only in Japan. A version I'm pretty sure most of you didn't play. Most of you probably played this one of the Steam version. So, I don't know what's gonna happen here. I thought about this and I was like, oh my god. They're a bit divisive. They're popular games. Most people love them, but they're a bit divisive. Especially this one. I don't know what's gonna happen here. So let's do this. Why is it unfair? Oh, because you both at me. Exactly. That's... When I have people complaining, that's when I know I made the right match. Okay. Let's see who wins. Any version. Well, it's only one version of the game. It's not like this have been remastered or anything, or ported or whatever. It's just the same version. Start voting while we keep listening to some beautiful music from Frontier Hunter. The name of the song doesn't show up in there, it shows in Japanese, but that's the Frontier Hunter soundtrack for anybody who cares out there, you know. Sakuna of Rise and Ruin versus Tales of Vesperia. Oh sure, I'm pretty sure Sakuna is going to destroy Tales of Vesperia by a landslide. Praetor, you gotta make a better argument than that. I pick East because of the music, come on. Kevin says, okay, so both games are pretty darker than their previous games, which is fine, but I will say while I like Adeline 9 with his I'm over this shit attitude, Velvet Crow is a much better protagonist. So you chose Berseria, okay. How can I vote when I didn't play Ys? You can't vote. You like them both, so the music is my coin toss? Praetor? Okay. Well, it looks like Tails is winning. It's probably gonna win. Ys 9 has a lot of detractors. Because it's not 8. Simple as that. You can't vote. Alright. Whatever happens, I'm gonna be surprised. Like, I have no clue. But it looks like Berseria is destroying Ys. Tails games, I feel like Tails games are always gonna win, but we saw what happened last time. Tales of Exilia lost versus Trails in the Sky. I wasn't expecting that at all. Berseria protagonist is one of the best in the series. I don't know if I want to promote Ys nowadays, or anything from Nis America Blade. Really, Joker? So you're gonna vote for Berseria just because of that? You gotta be kidding me, man. It's not the game's fault. Love you reading your comments, Kevin. I never know which game you're voting for. First, in your first comment, you defend one game, and in the other one, you defend the other. So make up your mind, dude. Brian says Berseria has a lot more going for it mechanically. Both have instanced combat, but Berseria does it better by making it less repetitive. Okay, so you are choosing Berseria because of the combat. I bet this will be a landslide. Probably, it already is, dude. At this point, I doubt Ys 9 is gonna pick up. We have our answer. Okay, so maybe it wasn't a good idea. I thought it was a great match, you know. I thought it would be a great match, but apparently not. It's just these versus episodes are so unpredictable. It's hard to know what's gonna happen. Sometimes, you know. Well, anyway, you know, even if a game wins by a landslide, doesn't mean that the versus episode wasn't fun. Zoid's Legacy? Okay. That's so low. Fucking inconsistent volume. Zoid's Legacy on the Game Boy Advance. You thought this chat wouldn't be so casual? I fucked it up. I don't think I fucked up. I think it's a good match for the people who play both games, you know, but sometimes, you know, you never know. Even though we've done 3 Tales episodes, believe it or not, it's hard to put Tales against something. You know, it's just so goddamn popular, the series. Like, it's most of the time it's gonna win, no matter what. Well, I'll just say something right now. I don't have my decision, believe it or not. I'm still thinking, like, I'm still like, oh boy, which one am I gonna pick? Huflong says the games are matched up perfectly. It's just Berseria is better. You can always play an Ys game and get an Ys fix, but Berseria has a different tone than the others. I think Arise is more popular than Berseria for some reason. Velvet's one of the best female protagonists. Yes, she is. You're breaking the rules, Kevin. I'm not gonna read 10,000 comments. I know it takes a long to explain, but the rules are... make your argument in one paragraph, that's it. So you chose Berseria, okay, so I got it right in the first time. How do you deal with your backlog? I don't. The best way to deal with your backlog is not deal with it. Just play whatever, you know. Yeah. Since Ys 8 was such a great game, I think every single Ys game after it's just, yeah, not gonna get as appreciated. Once you release your masterpiece, hardly any game will come even close. There have been exceptions though. Well, Berseria, I'm not that surprised. Late Berseria is a pretty divisive game still. A lot of people hate the combat. Oh, I think Ys 9 is very different from 8. Setting, characters, tone, atmosphere. It's just very different. Should have done Fantasia instead. I don't think a lot of people played Fantasia. One that actually makes sense, someone mentioned this, was Star Ocean 1 versus Tales of Eternia, but Tales is always gonna win against Star Ocean. I think the only Star Ocean game that stands a chance of beating a Tales game is the second one. Okay. Well, alright, I think Ys was popular enough. Maybe that's why a lot of people aren't asking about Ys 10 today. All about like a metaphor. Ask me about Ys 10. Just 2 people asked. Metaphor became like Final Fantasy 16 last year. Remember that? Wow, there's only like fucking 50 people asking me on every fucking stream about Final Fantasy 16. Have you played it? Have you played it? Have you played it? Have you played it? Oh my god. More arguments, anybody? Final boss of Ys 1 on any difficulty is brutal. let alone Nightmare, man. It's fucking brutal no matter what. I got him on easy, and I feel proud. I'm not ashamed one bit that I beat that fucking game on easy. Like, I'm proud of that. Fucking hard, brutally. Fuck that game, man. Problem with Ys 9, well, Ys 1 is that if you, I mean, that's a game that you play. The PSP remake has a level cap. I think most versions of Ys 1 have a level cap. Most of them, not all of them. I think TurboGrafx 16 version doesn't have a level cap. But there's a level cap on the PSP version, so imagine. Nothing you can do except get good or try your damnedest and hardest to get good as you can. Grinding is not gonna save you on Ys 1 remake on PSP. versus luck. It sounds like Final Fantasy. Oh, Blue Dragon Awakened Shadow. Okay, so it sounded like Nobuo Uematsu. I was like, what the hell is this? Sounds like Nobuo Uematsu. Did you ever use Game Genie to beat a JRPG? No, never. I've never touched a Game Genie in my life. Not because I'm against it, it's just because I've never owned one. Any more arguments, people, in favor of either game that I can read for the clip on my second channel? Kevin says, East Monstrum Nox takes exploration to the next level. I mean, you can climb, glide, and fly to buildings and grappling too. Tales of Berseria is overrated, darker version of any Tales game. It doesn't change. Wow! I've never seen anybody saying Tales of Berseria is overrated, but okay, that's your opinion. You beat Ys 3 on the Super Nintendo, oh my god, you have my respect. Original Ys 3. I mean, Felgana, the remake of Ys, the Odin Felgana, which, I mean, it's a remake of Ys 3. That's fucking hardcore. Hardcore, man. Hardest Ys ever, man. You beat the original, which is harder. I think Chrono Trigger is gonna win versus Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was extremely beloved and popular, but I think nowadays a lot of people hate it for some reason. And Trigger is like, oh my god, the untouchable. I can tell you that, Kevin, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. I'm still trying to make my decision on which game I like more. Wow. Dawn of the Sun? Isn't that Ys 4? Dawn of Ys. Oh yeah. Why will I retire my career, man? I don't give a fuck about modern JRPGs anymore, with very few exceptions, and I'm doing fine. You know, I have a backlog, have many retro and obscure shit I can play and review and recommend, so... Come on, Denise. Don't fight. Just because somebody doesn't like a game that you love doesn't mean they have trash taste. I imagine people, I don't like Earthbound. Imagine what they say about, oh, you're missing out. You have trash taste. Come on. Cast your vote, Erick. No! More arguments! Berseria is way better. Really? It is? Is it? I don't know. I think I've made my decision. But it's just, as always, it's gonna be one of those, this one wins by a hair. Where can I get a signed copy of one of your books? I don't know. You need to like buy it, then come to Mexico, and then I'll sign it for you. There are signed copies of my books out there, except for people on Patreon, but that was back in the day when I could still sell them. It was a Patreon benefit a long time ago, because I had a way back then to send it to them, to send a signed copy, you know. But nowadays I don't have one. Maybe one of these days. Come on, I need a few more votes. 65 at least, damn it. Make it 60-40 at least. We know Berseria won already. 60-40 like Arise versus Star Ocean. So yeah, there you go. I think this is the last Tales game I'll ever compete with any other. You know, Tales always wins, except when it faces Trails in the Sky for some reason. No, man, this song is from Valkyrie Adventure. No Valkyrie Drive. Valkyrie Adventure. It's an old computer game, Master System. No, it's not Master System. TurboGrafx. PS1. Why would I cover? They didn't get re-released. Golden Sun 1 and 2. They just added them to the Switch emulator, man. That's not a release. That's just, oh yeah, add more games. Will you release your books in Turkish one day? I don't know. Turkish of all languages? I don't know. Oh, Kevin, you hurt my feelings. That's right, Smiling Dog. So I don't think we're gonna see... David says, Berseria for me, much darker story, the characters were interesting and fun combat. That's... okay. Well, whatever. I gotta go anyway. So. The poll is over. Tales of Berseria won with 63%. Monstrum Nox lost with 37%. Ouch. That hurts me. I'm a die-hard fan of both games, you know that, but to see East lose so bad, which is my pick, it kind of hurts. I don't know. I remember when Star Ocean 6 lost versus Tales of Arise, and okay, I understood why, but this one I'm like, I think the reason is because, and a lot of you mentioned this, because a lot of people haven't played East 9, so they were voting for Berseria even though they didn't play East 9. Well, I guess East isn't as popular as this one in particular. East 8 is super popular, but East 9, I don't think a lot of people bothered with it. I don't know why though. Probably because of the price. Yeah, my pick is East 9, but again, it's one of those. It wins by a hair, just because I don't know. I don't know why, to be honest. I think I don't even know what to say. Let's begin with the story, I guess. Damn, it's just hard to say why I prefer East 9. Maybe because of the... I can't do this. Okay, I'll tell you why. Fine. I think the story is on equal terms. You know, I love Velvet. Velvet definitely adds way more to the story, and the cast of characters are like these anti-heroes, socially rejected characters, you know. But East 9 is took the same formula a little bit differently, you know, with these characters that are like, you know, kind of dark and edgy. So in terms of casting characters, I don't know. I think in terms of story, these games are on equal terms because it's just as dark and edgy and whatever, you know, and the plot twist in East 9 is like, wow. I certainly wasn't expecting that, to the big revelation why there's two Adol. You know, I like that. So I think in terms of story, while in equal terms, I think I prefer Monstrum Nox a little bit more. Because the story in Berseria is fucking great. And Velvet and blah blah blah, yeah, I get you on that. You know, I'm a diehard Velvet fan as well, but I think it's a little bit more unpredictable on East 9, while in Berseria it's a bit predictable. We already know what was gonna happen. Like, I certainly wasn't expecting the end, the very last scene of Berseria. I wasn't expecting that, okay? So it's got its plot twist as well. But the outcome, the conclusion of the whole journey and adventure of Berseria was a bit more predictable. Whereas that adventure, the ending, the conclusion of East 9 was a bit more like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting that, you know. So yeah, in terms of story, it wins by a hair, very small hair. But in terms of characters, I think Berseria wins. It's just, yeah. Graphics are the same, I think, you know, great graphics, but nothing outstanding. So yeah. Music. I love the soundtrack of Berseria. I've always said this, but when it comes to music, Motoi Sakuraba kind of cheeses through it. A few great fucking themes, and then the rest of the soundtrack is kind of like eh. And East 9 is just Falcom, you know. It's Takahiro Inizuga, Mitsu Singa, you know, those guys, you know, they nailed it. I think the soundtrack in Lacrimosa of Dan is a bit better, but in here it did not disappoint, so I think I like the soundtrack on East 9 a little bit more. So like Praetor said, you know, just because of music, it wins. This 9 kind of wins, you know. And finally, exploration is kind of the same. I have no issues with both. There's a lot of backtracking in Berseria, but this 9 didn't expand more in its exploration, so they both have this small flaw in them. But at the same time, the gameplay is fucking fantastic in both, and the combat is like fucking great in both. But I will give you this. If you play Berseria on normal mode, or and above, and it's 9 or above, or normal, forget about the easy modes in both games. Normal or harder than that, okay, this wins. It's more balanced, it's more fun, and this is a pain in the ass, you know. Some enemies fucking kill you for no reason, and you're like, what? So this one has some balancing issues. This fucking doesn't. So, I see the victory to Berseria. It may be the better game, and I fucking love it passionately, but I'm sticking with East, you know, because I think I enjoyed it just a bit more. But this is a strongly recommended game, okay? This is, you gotta play this fucking game. It's amazing, amazing game. That's it, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with anybody out there. I'm leaving now. I'm leaving because Berseria won. No, I'm happy it won. I'm happy. Actually, I'm happy. I prefer East 9. I prefer East 9. You know, but I'm happy Berseria won. I was like, I created this match a long time ago, but I didn't want to put it up out there because I was afraid. I was actually afraid Berseria would lose, but it won. So I'm happy with the outcome. It's one of those versus episodes I don't give a fuck about the outcome because both games are fucking incredible. The end. Yeah. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Nobody told me this was fucking loud. Okay? Twitch. Link to my Twitch channel in the description. Follow me there. I'll be live soon. Not today, but soon. See you there.